Hey guys, so welcome to Chat with Kay Ess Tee. It's your girl Kay, and today we are actually talking the Meg Thee Stallion Tory Lanez case, this infamous case that has been going on for way too long, has finally, I think, come to an end. I'm not sure because he can definitely appeal the verdict, but of course, the verdict was guilty. Of course, some of us, we kind of already knew it, but we were looking for like confirmation on it. There are some of us who were like, absolutely like not. And it's a lot that's been going on with this case, where there are some people who feel like, the defense presented their case, but um and the prosecution didn't have much of a case. But then there are other people who feel like, the prosecution presented their case and the defense didn't do a good job in defending their client, so therefore he is guilty. Now let's jump into it. The prosecution and the defense. The prosecution, of course, calls their various witnesses to the stand, along with the defense. Some of these witnesses include Kelsey, the detectives, the doctor, and I think the defense called an independent witness to the stand. All these different people gave their testimonies, about what they saw, what they heard, what happened. It was a little bit weird. Some people felt like the detectives who were on the case were being negligent, and that's what the defense wanted to prove to the jury, that the investigation was botched. But nonetheless, the various detectives took the stand, and they spoke their truth. The doctors came out, did what they had to do in terms of proving that Megan did indeed get shot. And then we had her best friend Kelsey take the stand. Now the thing with Kelsey is that and Kelsey did an interview. Now this trial happened in December of 2022, but Kelsey did an interview with the prosecution back on September, where when she took the stand, she claims she lied about everything in that interview. And she said she can't recall. During her testimony, she kept saying, when they were asking her simple questions, she's like, I can't recall, I can't remember, I don't know. So she basically wanted to retract everything that she had initially said, and she pled the fifth. It was a lot going on with the Kelsey testimony, but we were able to get through it. The prosecution wasn't quite feeling the fact that Kelsey decided that, hey, now all of a sudden she wants to have a sudden case of amnesia. So what they did was, they of course asked a judge to have her recorded interview presented to the jury, and the judge of course agreed. So they were able to get Kelsey's testimony from back on September. We had the independent witness testify to what he saw. He had, I don't know if it was his video footage, but there were like different things that came up. But let me stay on the independent witness. Now the independent witness, he testified to hearing the shots, to being home, to feeling as though they were jumping Megan Thee Stallion, they were gonna throw her in the river. He was just like, just the detail on what he saw when the girls got out the car, and then when Tory got out the car, he said he didn't see the gun, but he saw the flashes from the gun, which would insinuate he's able to see, what's going on with the muzzle flashes and stuff like that. He said he thought it was fireworks, but then he realized that now that it wasn't. So he basically given his testimony. So we went and we sat through all these different witnesses. We had EJ, the hairstylist, sit down. I think the bodyguard, both bodyguards, both Megan and Tory's bodyguards came to testify in the end, but they weren't allowed because Tory's team didn't want to delay the trial. So those two testimonies didn't quite happen, but for the most part, all the other testimonies occurred. Now, what also occurred at trial was that they introduced evidence, a lot of it. And now that the trial is over, the evidence is, of course, being put out to the public, and we're now able to see what the jury and all those people who were sitting in the court were able to see, and we're able to digest it. Because a lot of times when you're hearing information, you're hearing it from someone else's perspective. You're not hearing it quite from, like, it's not the source, it's a secondhand opinion. So it's filled with opinions, it's filled with biases and stuff like that. So now that the trial is over, they're now releasing this evidence to the public, and now we have access to it, I should say, and we're now able to formulate our own opinions, right? And some of the evidence that they brought up in trial was, of course, the 911 call. Not the 911 call, sorry, the jail call that was made from Tory to Kelsey. That call was recently released as well, so I was able to hear it for myself. And what else was released? So on the trial, they had basically, I'm losing my train of thought. No, girl. But let me go. They basically had, like I mentioned earlier, like the ring camera footage of when you hear the shots go pop, 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 pop. So you hear the shots, and they have the camera footage that shows that. Well, it doesn't show the shots, but shows the sound of the bullets. They show where it's coming from. What else did we have? Let me look at my notes. We had the body cam footage from the ambulance that Megan was in. We saw her crying and stuff like that in the ambulance. So basically, a lot of different evidence was presented at the trial, and the jury felt confident that, hey, look, this man did absolutely do it. And now the evidence is being released to the public, and I think the public is starting to have the same kind of energy. Now let me jump into my opinion here a little bit, but I think the public opinion is starting to shift once the evidence of what really occurred that night is starting to come out. Once we're able to listen to the call that he made to Kelsey the day after, once we're able to hear Megan in the ambulance right after crying, once we're able to see what happened on that ring camera footage and hear the gunshots, and it's like, damn, you get to formulate your opinion, and you're like, wait, a lot of people who thought Tory was this innocent person aren't thinking that anymore. Now, as for my opinion, I always want to maintain the fact that I thought Tory Lanez did this to Meg Thee Stallion, not because he was found guilty, but for more so because I just believed her the moment she said it. There's no one, unless you're a psycho, that gets online and say, I was shot by this person, and just lies blatantly like that. You'd have to be a psychopath. You'd have to be a sociopath. Something would have to be definitely wrong with you upstairs. And I know that is not Megan Thee Stallion's case, right? Now, for me, I just feel like people did rally behind her in the beginning. We all rallied behind her. We was like, no, forget Tory Lanez. Like, we're not doing this. We're not supporting him. We're not doing any of it, right? And then what happens? Doubt starts to creep in. It's natural, it happens. So as doubt now starts to present itself, and we're like, okay, well, you know what, Meg, what's going on with this? Tory says this. Tory, why did you do this? Kelsey, what's going on with this? So everybody now started to get to a point where they no longer trust Megan Thee Stallion's story. Now Megan is a liar. This is about a year and a half, I want to say, or a year into this incident. Everyone starts calling Megan a liar. Some people did even initially call her a liar from the moment it occurred. But I feel like it started to pick up traction like a year into it. So as the I'm losing my train of thought, but basically as the Megan Thee Stallion hate campaign, as we would call it, as she would call it, as it starts, where people are like, yo, Megan is a liar, Megan is a this, Megan is a that, blah, blah, blah. Everybody starts not trusting her. We stop supporting her as much. Everyone, including myself, aren't able to stand confidently on what we believed initially. Because we believe, some people who are with me believe she got shot. But then it's like, when everybody started being like, no, Megan is a liar, Megan is a liar, Megan is a liar, we all was just like baffled, like, wait, sis, were you honest, right? And I feel like that kind of attitude was the attitude that we all walked into on the trial. We all walked into the trial feeling like, not all of us, but for me mostly feeling like, hey, you know what, I don't know what's going on, because I believe that this man could have done it, but is she a psychopath who just lied on him like that? So I started to become a little bit indecisive about my opinion, and many others as well judged my social media. So now to have it come back that a verdict, he's definitely guilty. So the 12 jurors who sat up there felt like, hey, you know what, your testimony is, you're like basically telling Tory Lanez, like, no, you did this, like, you know, and saying basically the prosecution presented their case. So it took the 12 jurors being able to find him guilty. That was one. People kept saying, oh, they didn't have enough evidence to find Tory Lanez guilty. How dare you find Tory Lanez guilty and you don't have the evidence for that? And then it's like, but wait, as the evidence of the 911 call gets released to the public last night, I'm listening to it, and the energy has yet again changed. People are like, wait. He did it. He was apologizing for shooting her. Absolutely. Case closed. That's what the energy is. And even after me listening to the 911 call, and not even after me listening to the 911 call, I feel like after, when I want to say day 3, day 4, I feel like Kelsey's testimony made me believe Megan. We didn't hear Kelsey's testimony, but I felt like Kelsey, what made me personally feel like Megan Thee Stallion was being honest was Kelsey's testimony. I felt like it was shady. And the minute I felt her testimony was being shady, I suddenly started to believe Megan Thee Stallion, because I'm like, no. There's something not right about your testimony. You're protecting somebody, and it's not your ex-best friend. So you know what? Since you're being shady, this man is guilty and your best friend is innocent, and she's been telling the truth. Your ex-best friend is innocent. She's been telling the truth all the time. So that's how I felt. But nonetheless, let's jump into how everyone else felt. Everyone else was still like, oh, she's a liar. Now, last night, the 911 call drops, and guess what? Not everybody's like, look, Tory Lanez shouldn't appeal. My opinion is that, look, you have to fight for your freedom. So if Tory Lanez wants to appeal, he can appeal all he wants. More power to that man. But my thing is, when you shoot somebody, there's consequences. You allowed, like, Tory Lanez allowed us to believe that she didn't get shot. Tory Lanez allowed us to paint Megan as the bad guy for 3 years. Tory Lanez did everything. Like, don't get me wrong. You want to maintain your freedom, but this black woman, Megan Thee Stallion, literally stood up for you for how many years now? Hiding stuff, dropping little pieces here, saying little pieces there, but not divulging the full thing, because if she divulges the full thing, you will be under public scrutiny. So she literally does all of this for you. You shot her, by the way. You shot her in the foot, by the way. And she does all of this. And you feel like God is going to do what? Because he's a very religious person. I'm not saying he's a very religious person, but he talks about God a lot. So if you are a strong believer in God, like, how do you expect that karma that she put out not flow blessings onto her and curses onto you, because you've been lying to us for 3 years now, almost 3 years. But nonetheless, my opinion is trust Black women the first time we say we've been hurt. If a Black woman, because let me tell you something, had that, and I saw a comment on the Shade Room where someone had commented this, and I was like, exactly. Had it been Kylie Jenner, let's just throw the name out there. Had it been Kylie Jenner, who they had, who had gotten shot, a moment of silence for that. But had it been Kylie Jenner who had gotten shot, we wouldn't have been going through this for 3 years. We wouldn't have been going through this. It wouldn't have been, oh, she lied and she's a liar and she's this and all this scrutiny into, oh, well at 6:02 p.m. she said this, and then at 6:04 p.m. he did that, and like, it wouldn't have been all this investigation into her story. But because Megan Thee Stallion was a Black woman, people doubted her, doubted everything that she said. So yeah, trust Black women the first time they tell you that someone has done something to them. And that's all that this entire trial has taught me. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. Hopefully her career blossoms. And Tory, we're gonna see what happens at sentencing. I'll definitely let you guys know how many years he gets sentenced. But yeah, you can't just shoot people like that and go away scotch-free and lie about it. Yeah. So yeah, those are my thoughts and opinion on this Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez trial situation. It wasn't even Meg Thee Stallion versus Tory Lanez. It was actually the people versus Tory Lanez, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Shout out to Meg Thee Stallion, shout out to Tory Lanez. Good luck to both. And like always, we'll chat next time, guys. Laters.